the Black Men Run podcast. This is episode number, is this 3 or 4?
Number 3.
This is
number 3.
Yeah. Episode 3. I am your host, Lusire Boyd, and I have my co-host here, JT. JT, go ahead and introduce yourself.
JT Hale here in Atlanta, former Atlanta captain, new vice captain, and director of communications.
Oh, yes, and I'm also the vice captain of Detroit chapter.
That's right.
Today's show, we have two awesome young men here. We have actually 3. Ooh, we have a whole today.
Yeah.
we have Castleberry, who is the national captain. We have Darryell Randle, who is the captain of Detroit. He's gonna be he's the vice national captain, right?
I'm currently the national captain and director of technology and the outgoing captain of the Detroit chapter. A lot of titles.
And we have our incoming Detroit captain, Brother Romero Hardy. Welcome, brothers.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, indeed. It's good to see everybody. This is September 21st. And I think I saw on the little TikTok counter that we've got, it's less than 30 days till our national race in Detroit.
Yeah. Today is
I believe it's 26 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Can y'all believe that? 4 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, that's more. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. I keep hearing that the Detroit chapter and the national captain, y'all are getting ready to do the damn thing with this national BMR race, which is the Detroit Free Press Marathon weekend. So what can the brothers look forward to who are coming from here and there and everywhere, coming into Detroit?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's been a few years since we've had a national meetup. So just considering that it's been that long, guys are kind of pent up as far as being able to come together and fellowship. And one of the things that's unique to Detroit is that when we were founded, one of the things that we discussed was within 5 years, being able to have a national meetup here. So just to kind of see that coming to fruition is a powerful thing. The guys here are excited. I'm excited. I know incoming Captain Romero is excited. And we just look forward to having a few hundred of our brothers from across the country, plus our partners, in addition to our members here, as well as our families and our larger community. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. What about you, Romero?
Oh, I'm looking forward to a great time, man. Anytime I get to get over 100 of my brothers here in my city, we get to host it, we're going to make it do what it do.
It's
a good time. And the way that everything is, the planning has come along, I think you guys should be in for a treat.
Okay. So what's on the agenda? I know we're doing like a Friday, Saturday, race day is Sunday. Friday is the expo.
Yes, right now we got the expo on Friday, and we actually gonna have guys at the BMR booth. We got a booth at the expo, so we all have like a couple shifts at the booth at the expo.
Now, I also heard that we're gonna also have a expo with just our partners.
I think that's on Saturday.
Is that Saturday? Okay.
We think we doing the meetup with the partners on Saturday, sometime Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be Saturday after the 1 mile and 5K races at Milliken State Park. So we'll have race tents at Milliken State Park, and then we'll celebrate and then head over to our meet the BMR Partners Meetup or BMR Plus Partners Experience Meetup at at Doubletree, Hilton Doubletree in downtown Detroit. And then, Bryan can explain more about that.
Yeah, I'll just say too, because I know we have a number of guys coming in on different days. So we have guys coming in as early as Tuesday and Wednesday. So I know Thursday we'll have something, on a smaller scale for, the brothers that are here with their significant others, a chance just to kind of get together and fellowship and break bread. And, the majority of our guys are going to arrive sometime that Friday. So as they mentioned, we'll have something there at the expo. On Friday, we'll have some activities scheduled that evening as well. And that'll be again for our members, spouses as a whole, where we can kind of just get together and fellowship. And then, on Saturday, we'll have our Saturday races, which comprises the 1 mile, a competitive 1 miler, the 5K, and the kids fun run. And so for us, we're going to use the Doubletree Fort Shelby as BMR Central. And that's where we'll have, our events on Saturday, our pre-race dinner, our banquet. We have actually all of our partners in town as well. So Saucony, Fleet Feet, the Civil Rights Race Series, and Vacation Races. So they'll be in here as well. So as we're saying, it's not really a race, it's really an experience that we want to have for everybody that's here. So even for those folks who aren't necessarily able to run or have no interest in running, there'll be plenty of activities where, they can have a good time, meet people, and create some great experiences.
I'm glad you said that it's more than just a race because, my 13.1 miles would be a half walking, half running. So, and taking pictures and video.
Yeah.
To use later.
Yeah, you're gonna have plenty of stops to check in the scenery and take your pictures. Most people, a lot of people, they're amped about the race, and then they train all year, and then they see that bridge getting ready to ascend and descend into Canada, and you're going over that water or the Ambassador Bridge. They start walking.
I can't wait. Y'all might not be able to get me off the bridge.
Yeah, they be like, oh, forget that PR and forget all this. I'm taking this all in. So the same thing through the tunnel. They take a picture right before they enter that tunnel, and so if you do it again, and then you might take it more serious. But the first time, you're going to be taking it all in, and then if people that's participating in the full marathon are going through more historic neighborhoods than we've had previous years, because last year, because of COVID, we was only able to run in the U.S. half. We wasn't able to go over to Canada, so they added a new route, and that route goes into the historic Boston Edison district, Woodbridge district, I think parts of Rosedale Park. Motown goes past the Motown Museum. A lot of people would stop, go run it and take pictures in front of the Motown Museum, get a little history. Some people found out that little house was more than a little house. It was actually but 4 houses. So it's going to be picturesque for a lot of folks.
And one thing about Detroit is the spirit of the people. For the folks who've come here the last few years to participate in this event with us as a chapter have all said the same thing. There's just something about the people and the spirit of Detroit. So again, it's going to definitely be a treat.
Yeah.
Leave here, you're going to want to come back.
Guaranteed. That's it.
We get that question all the time. What's so great about Detroit? We got a lot of it's grimy and we hear bad things about it. Just like any other big city, we've had those problems. But we always say it's the people. We got water. We're surrounded by water, a lot of cars and everything. But number one is you can just pick any spot in Detroit, downtown, wherever, and people watch. And people love to talk to each other, and sometimes it's entertaining. Sometimes, since I was a kid, I used to just like to go downtown and look at people and just it's like comedy hour sometimes. So, but people are personable. People are personable. It's just everybody's a hustler. Detroit hustle harder. Everybody's a hustler. So it's a fun city. It's a very fun city.
It's cool. That is cool. So I'm not sure how many guys we have coming out of the ATL. I know it's more than just me and Ed and Lamar for a change.
Yeah.
I was hoping we had at least 10. I think we might be slightly under that, but that's cool. I've
Yeah.
mentioned the race every week, every group run since the beginning of January, if not before January. So, you know, I know some guys probably goes in one ear and out the other. They're not really thinking about it, but I've blown it up as much as possible. So for guys that have never attended either a national takeover or regional, what would you say to these guys to encourage them to come to the national race? I know registration may be over at this point, but for future national races or regional races.
I would say it's like
Hmm.
coming to a family reunion, man. You get a chance to spend time with a lot of your brothers that you don't normally get to spend time with. So
Yeah.
you don't get many opportunities during the year to do it. So if you can make a regional or national meetup, I recommend it that you try at least, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like,
And go, Romero.
no, I'm good. I thought you were about to
Yeah. So, speak on what you said about, you know, Romero's absolutely right. The camaraderie, and also the registration is still open for the domestic races.
Okay.
The U.S. half and the Saturday 1 mile and 5K races. The U.S. half is on the same day, full, the relay, and our international half. So I encourage people to come up because, you know, we all friends on Facebook. You know, we've been friends on Facebook, all our groups for years, and we had to take a break from our national meetups because of COVID.
Right.
And we've been planning this thing since, you know, 2019, and now it's happening. So
3
even
years
if you,
later.
yeah, even if you're not going to run, I would encourage, and you're still on the fence, you still have time to register for the 1 mile and the 5K. You can do the combo race. You can participate in the U.S. half. So come on up, and we're gonna have a pasta dinner and a reception on Saturday night. We're gonna have the BMR. How many times you know, we got these partners, but do we actually get to talk to them?
Right.
Here's your opportunity to do that. Here's your opportunity to meet some of the people that you have camaraderie with on our social media. So it's a kind of like Rome said, it's a family reunion. If you look at some of the older pictures, like, you know, before I joined BMR, you guys in Atlanta, you know, you took over, what was the Publix?
Yep.
Public
Public
secretary.
takeover we did 2014
Right.
and 2015
Right.
were the first two. Yeah.
And when I saw that picture, that's why I was getting back into running. When I saw that picture, that motivated me to join back Black Men Run. I know this existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, so
That was our first national race, and they came from everywhere, man. I met so many brothers from New York, Philly, Chi-Town, just some of everywhere, you know. And one of the things I got into, because my first half was actually Mercedes-Benz in Birmingham. That's a month before Publix. And so there, while I was there, I met Roland, who was the Memphis captain, and a few other cats. So traveling to different cities and doing races in other cities, because you do get tired of doing the same ones over and over in your city. You know, I call it a runcation. It's also an opportunity to connect and meet with some of the brothers in other chapters, even if you don't meet up for a run, you know, happy hour or whatever. It's just cool to meet up. So it's something I definitely live and breathe and, you know, enjoy and I look forward to. So I almost kind of feel like I know mostly everybody,
yeah.
almost, but a good half, I would say I do. So we'll see, man. I hope these guys show up from the A, you know, because that's what they all used to say. Y'all don't ever come from Atlanta to come anywhere, and that was true. It may be 3 or 4.
Everybody go to Atlanta, but
Everybody
Atlanta
want to
never
come
go
to the ATL,
nowhere
you know?
else.
And it's cool, but it's a lot of other cool places too. And this race is
Right.
all over. So Yeah, I'm excited about this. It sounds like we got some pretty good activities going on. So the DoubleTree is like the headquarters for all the BMR activities. as far as-
Unofficial.
Unofficial. Okay.
Unofficial.
Unofficial.
Unofficial, yes. I was going to say, JT, I know you're the now outgoing captain for Atlanta, but now that you guys have a Detroiter and Captain Mark Monroe for
Mhm.
Atlanta, shout out to Captain Monroe. Hopefully he'll be able to galvanize more of the guys from
What's up,
Atlanta.
Spurdy?
What up, though, Mark? But it's nice because I was gonna say, and I've been a part of, I think, one Publix event a few years back, and they've had good numbers there. I know same thing with the races in Trenton and as well in Atlantic City. It was funny because our last race here before COVID, I remember we were packing the tents, taking the tents down on Saturday, and there were a lot of text messages I received from different people in New Jersey talking about see you in Detroit next year. And I know I was looking like, what, but come to find out, a lot of the guys just wanted something different. So, again, I mean, it's nice that, they'll be able to come to Detroit. And this is the only event where for those who are doing the full and the international half, where you can run in two countries.
Exactly. How many races can you say you've done that? You've hit two countries in one race. So,
how many races can you say that you ran a mile underwater?
And that.
Only in Detroit.
And that. So that's going to be pretty. I think the weekend that you were talking about, Bryan, we were in Atlantic City. I think both races were the same weekend.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. And New Jersey was a good time. We had a ball. Nice turnout for that too. So
you guys had some great pictures.
Oh yeah. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, the other shameless plug I'll just give quick as well is for those participants that do multiple races. I mean, this is the only event where you can walk away with 3, 4, possibly 5 medals.
Wow.
Nice medals too.
And the best medal of all, our Black Men Run custom national meetup race medal.
Wow.
That baby.
All of them. Yeah. Well, I'm only doing the international half, so they can have the 1 miler and the 5K. I'm good.
You still gonna have a beautiful medal afterwards.
It's not too late to sign up. Come on, JT.
Nah, I'm gonna save it for the half. I'm good. I'll come out to support. I'll be up.
You will be there. You will be there because we're going to have our race tent there on Saturday. So you will be there.
I'll definitely be there at the tent. So,
bring your passport.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So because of the number of people we'll have, so typically a lot of the socializing happens on Saturday. A lot of the guys and the ladies in this case as well, they kind of use the Saturday races as a way to kind of get the shakeout runs for the longer distances on Sunday. So it's a great time, whether you're running or just want a fellowship, a good time to have a good time to meet the larger Detroit community. And, what's nice about this year, because of the number of people that we have running under Black Men Run, we actually had to get 3 tents made.
Wow.
For this. Yeah. That's nice. We've typically, I think previously, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I want to say we've had maybe 60 people on the max end previously, 55, 60, somewhere around there. But we've definitely exceeded those numbers this year.
Yeah, I think that was one of the years Coach O even came.
That's right, Romero. He did come. And it's nice because we've always had, BMR brothers that are from Detroit, but they live in different parts of the country. So we've always had, a number of people that have come back to run this race. And for us, this is our our signature race for Black Men Run Detroit. So there's always been activities that we've had. You know, this weekend, we've always done the meet and greet. We've always had something on Saturday. But, you know, again, this year, and I just want to say that to anybody who's listening to this podcast, for those of you who just choose not to come because you just don't want to, you are going to kick yourselves for the next few years. I mean, you know, we haven't necessarily disclosed everything we're going to do this weekend, but, you know, again, this is an experience. It is not a race.
Yeah. I hate for the guys to miss out who are going to miss out.
It's gonna be epic, epic, epic.
Say that again.
Epic, epic, epic.
Going down like 4 flat.
4.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. To my understanding, so there aren't any corrals for this lineup at the start. There are no
there'll
corrals.
be,
Get
there'll
in
be
wherever.
waves. Yeah, they're going to be waves.
There are ways. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be waves, but we encourage, like I said in our previous, I think that was our first episode,
Mhm.
that we like to start together. So, and we start in wave 1 together.
Okay.
We don't, you know, it's not enforced,
Yeah.
but we want to show, you know, we show strength, we show power, you know,
Mhm.
and then, you know, people that don't want to do that, you know, they could go to their own wave. So fast runner, slow runner, and once you start, you just know, if you're slower, you know, you run a different way, you can start on the right side. You know, just like the walkers do in the back, you know, maybe start on the right side. So, but it's been pretty smooth when we do it. We've been doing that the last couple of years, and not just the free press marathon race, but other races too. We like to start up
Okay.
front.
That's going to be a sight. Seeing all
So,
them BMR brothers up in the front,
yeah.
man.
Over 100
Yeah,
Black men.
Yeah.
Is
Did you
Detroit going to
imagine
know what
100?
hit them, man?
No. Could you imagine like 100 Black Men Run shirts up front?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. I can.
Yeah.
Actually. So
So
definitely somebody to get photo and video of that.
yeah, and we're not talking about just, you know, the captains and their members of the chapters, but we got, you know, some supporters, some and some of our members' spouses going to be up there. You know, they're going to be running that the Sunday race and the 1 mile and 5K. So
Okay.
people are bringing their families too to participate.
That's cool. For those people whose families are coming, spouses, booze, or whatever you want to call them, are there other points of interest in Detroit close to where we will be that they can indulge in?
When you guys jump on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take a crack at it first. I mean, we have a lot of history here. So I think, you know, we have the Motown Museum that Darryell mentioned earlier that I'm sure a lot of folks will be able to get out to. You have the Charles Wright Museum of African American History as well. You have the Detroit Institute of Arts. We have a ton of, you know, fashion and history. So I do suspect that there'll be a lot of folks that want to come out and try some good cuisine and some good museums and things of that nature that are here. Absolutely. And I've even had one person reach out to say, hey, you know, for those of you that work in the automotive industry, can I get a tour of a plant or things of that nature? So yeah, there'll be a lot to experience while people are here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. There's the what's called the Henry Ford. It's in Dearborn, Michigan. That has a lot of historic. It's a museum, a lot of history about the Detroit area automotive industry, everything that's pertaining to Detroit. There we have a location where people can sign up for bike tours downtown, so they can get a bike tour different historic areas in the city. So there's a lot to indulge into, and we're going to have those items listed in the itinerary of things to do.
Okay.
So Yeah, there's plenty.
Plus the
we
surprises,
also-
right?
Sorry.
Plus the surprises. I know you guys said there's some surprise things you don't want to just give away right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. That'll work.
Also, we also have the best river walk in the United States right now. A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah,
And-
USA Today. USA
Yeah.
Today named our Detroit Riverwalk the best river walk in the United States for 2 years in a row.
Wow.
2020 and 21.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I always hear about San Antonio's Riverwalk. I never heard anything about Detroit's Riverwalk, so I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
It's a jewel. It's a hidden jewel, and every
Jewel.
year it gets better and better.
Mhm.
Wow.
Exactly. And for those who are here and a part of the Saturday events, they'll be able to see, portions of the Riverwalk. So
Okay.
even if after some of the races, we always have people that want to just kind of walk with their kids or their significant others along the Riverwalk anyway. So yeah, it's breathtaking.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna hand the mic back to Lusire.
And you look, let me add to that. When you look to the south on the Riverwalk, that's Canada. That's Canada.
That's right.
Oh
and,
wow.
and notice I said south. I said south. We're actually north of Windsor, Canada,
What?
because it curves under. Right, Windsor, Canada curves under us. So when people say,
Okay.
"Well, y'all, Canada's bringing that cold air down to Detroit," no, they're south of us. It's
I
weird, but
did not know
take a
that.
look
I
at the
gotta get
map.
my-
Yes.
Let me.
Yes.
I got an atlas. I got to check
Yes.
that out. Man.
Look
I
at
didn't
the
know
map.
that.
Look at the map, and then find Windsor, Ontario on that map, and then look
Wow.
up at Detroit.
Wow.
We're
Okay.
north of Windsor.
That's a good point, Darryell. I never
I didn't
thought
know
about
that.
that. When you're running,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
I mean, if you're not from that area, I guess you wouldn't even think of that being a possibility that Detroit is actually north and Canada.
And
is
Canada
kinda
is south of us. Yeah.
Wow.
Not all of Canada, just
Just
Windsor.
that little.
Yeah.
I mean, but any of it, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That is amazing.
That is a trivia question that they have on game shows. I've heard it before.
Is that a Jeopardy question?
Exactly. I heard it on Jeopardy. What city in the United States do you go south to go to Canada?
Yep.
And the answer is Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit.
it
Okay.
is.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
So now we have what's that? Rome is over there. He's being quiet over in the corner. I see him. We gotta bring Rome out. Rome, tell us some of your running history.
Well, I actually started running 2009, man. Just wanted to get out there and try to lose some weight. And before you know it, one block led to 2 blocks, 2 blocks led to 2 miles, 2 miles led to 5Ks, 5Ks led to half marathons, and from there to full marathons.
Oh, so
I started running in 2009, and within a year, I had ran my first full.
oh, you getting ready for your first ultra. I love it.
Wow. Amazing.
One day, I put that on my bucket list. I put it on my bucket list.
So Romero, Rome, we call Romero Rome for all those in our listening audience. If you ever hear the name Rome, that is the famous Romero Harding. And me and Rome has ran together. I met Rome years ago. It was the weirdest thing. We running a race and we got on the same outfit. Remember that, Rome?
Yep. We got a picture somewhere someone took of us coming around the curve just like this.
Looking like the Boxy twins.
Yes, sir.
What brought you to Detroit as far as you being involved with Black men?
Well, actually, when I first started running, I ran mostly solo. I never ran with any groups. But then, Mark Monroe, which is the new captain of Atlanta, I was good friends with his brother. So as I started my running journey, Mark was a big influence on my running. He ran my first half with me, and he's actually the brother that introduced me to Black Man Run. So when I got my first Black Man Run T-shirt, I only had one at the time, but when I got on the actual Detroit page, every time I ran, I posted on Black Men Run. And 90% of the time, I think I was the only Black man on there posting. But hey, I posted to someone saw it and reached out. There it was. It's been a beautiful thing.
That's an awesome thing, man.
Yeah. I think that's how I make Castleberry.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say I credit you, Romero. I guess kind of the same thing. I learned about Black Men Run when I was going through rehab for my knee surgery. I fractured my left knee back in 2015 and been a lifelong runner, but never ran races or ran with anybody else. So during my rehab, I ran a 5K Thanksgiving in Atlanta. Saw all the shirts. I reached out to the national captain at the time. I shout out to Captain Stinson, Captain GQ, and he mentioned that, hey, yeah, there's a Detroit chapter, but there's no captain. And so joined the page, and who did I see? I saw Romero Hardy just constantly, posting, and it really helped motivate me through my rehab. And I said that, one of these days I look forward to kind of meeting and running with him. I didn't say anything about it at the time, but just watched him for months. And so I don't remember when we initially met, Rome, but I think when we did, I was trying to recruit him to be the captain for the Detroit chapter at the time. So it's nice how everything comes back full circle now.
Yeah. Everyone has a season.
Yeah, Lusire said he lost his connection. So hopefully he will get that back.
All
So
right.
Romero,
Go ahead, JT, do your thing, man.
so Romero, stepping into these captain shoes, man. Eventually, I guess you'll take over that 100% as brother Darryell passes the baton to you. Big shoes to fill. What kind of goals do you have for your Detroit chapter? What are some of the things that you personally would like to bring to Detroit?
Getting more involved in the community and with the youth, especially after our trip down to Nashville.
Yeah.
And working with the kids down there. For some reason, when I work with kids or do anything to help the children, it does something to me.
Yeah.
We're kind of working on something here right now, but with everything going on with preparing for the national meetup, it's kind of on the back burner. But we got some things planned for BMR Detroit in going into next year to kind of really reach the youth here and actually into the Black community.
Right. I think that's pretty important because none of us are getting any younger.
Yeah.
And we do want this to continue and be able to pass that baton on to some of these younger brothers as they start to reach, our age. So it should be a natural procession that we have to attract. And we do get young guys from time to time showing up. It's an age range. But I personally would really like to target a youth program, something that ties into Black Men Run, where they can kind of grow up in it, I remember a while back we had here in Atlanta, Chase and Carlos Boyd's son, Kendall. They're both grown men now.
I've been watching Carlos Boyd's son since he was a little kid. Now I've seen when he has grown a beard and helped his dad drive back to Atlanta from Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And even as a kid, he was pretty awesome, very mature. Sometimes I think I was talking to an old man when I would see him and talk to him, but just a very great, really good kid to be around, have around. Loved having him and Chase. I haven't seen Chase, but David Henry said he saw Chase. He didn't even know who he was. He walked in, he was like, who's this big dude walking up to me? And it was Chase, 6'2", you know, and all we remember is when he was like 12. So,
Wow.
you know, it's a great influence. And I like to see, you know, older brothers taking the little brothers under their wing. And I mean, I just feel like that's what we should do as Black men.
Right.
Yeah.
Positive influences, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's needed.
Yeah.
It's definitely needed.
I didn't have many myself as a kid, so I'm trying to be a blessing to those who don't have positive influence. You know, sometimes they get a lot of negative influence around them.
Mm-hmm.
So anything we can do to kind of steer them in this direction to influence that change or that keep them steering that way, you got to do it.
Yep.
Got to do it.
Exactly. You know, even if they don't come out regularly, you know, they have so many distractions and that can steer them down the wrong path. You know, at least Black Men Run could be one of those outlets that even in the future, you know, if they want to, you know, start focus on running. Well, wasn't my pops, wasn't my uncle, you know, part of this group called Black Men Run, you know, so that's another option for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely. So Brother Darryell, our IT guy,
Yes, sir.
my fellow national vice captain.
Sure.
What's it like dealing with the IT part of Black Men Run?
Oh, good question. Good question. So perfect example is this, you know, we're doing this recording, you know, we're gonna, after the series, we're going to move over to you guys, you and Lusire hosting the podcast. You know, I have to help produce that. You know, I have to get it up on YouTube. I had to put it on the website. I redesigned the website once I became director of technology a couple of years ago. So 2023, you know, focus on a refresh of that, creating, you know, some of the assets that we don't have right now for Black Men Run on the internet. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but things that, you know, we don't have, you know, have to develop. Some are organizations, organizational tools that we use like Office and Teams. So, you know, I support that. I support the guys who, you know, may not be tech savvy. They contact me and, you know, how do I set up my email and how do I, you know, create or what's going on with Facebook or Instagram where I can't make any posts, you know, so I get those type of calls. So I love it. You know, I've been working IT for 25 years and this is not like a job for me. So, I mean, anything that has anything to do with technology, I'm here for with our guys. So
We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, we're blessed to have you.
And I'll say the website really looks, once they revamped it, brought it back up, man, it looks great.
Thank you. And we're working on a refresh for 23. So got some ideas that I'm going to talk to, you know, I told Bryan and Ed about speaking with our senior leadership team about what you guys want to see new, what you guys want to see enhanced on the website.
Okay.
So be contacting you and the rest of the team.
All right.
And Lusire is back.
Man,
Fire.
that's never happened to me in my entire connections. I lost connection with my internet. My wife runs downstairs and say, "Hey, the cable's off." I'm like, what's going on? I said, and then the only thing ran through my head was Darryell saying, "We doing it organic. This is organic. Whatever happened, happened."
Whatever happens, happens. I think folks are pretty much used because of the pandemic of things not going as planned.
Right.
So did we talk about to Castleberry talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got everybody in.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So I'm excited about what's going on. You guys are excited about what's going on. I realize we got four men from Detroit on this vodcast tonight. We got one guy which equals about 10 men from Atlanta on here, JT, on this podcast.
Right.
It's so much energy. People, I was being quiet during the time when you guys was talking, because I'm a talker. I like to talk. And I said, man, when you were saying, what is it about Detroit? Let me tell you guys something. Detroit equals energy. Okay, we bring in energy wherever we go. We on 1,000. Okay, 1,000. We ain't on 10. We ain't on 100. We on 1,000. We holding, and we still holding back. So when we go to, you said something to the fact about why we go to these other, like we went to Nash. What was that? We went to the Nashville this year. We went to Denver. Denver got probably 5 or 6 guys coming to Detroit. Why? We brought energy when where I come from. I'm an old school Baptist guy, so y'all have to excuse me. But we brought the anointing, and when the anointing came on,
that's it.
When the anointing touches you, you gonna be ready. You gonna be ready.
All right, bro.
Wow. That's my brother.
Y'all trying to have church up in here. Hey, y'all trying to have BMR AFM.
BMR AME.
AME, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. One of them old school church guys.
Yeah, you know I am.
Oh man. But yeah,
so Lusire, if you are any indication of the energy for Detroit, hallelujah. How about that?
God is good.
Yeah. You cannot be around Lusire and not feel energized. He's just Lusire is one of them guys. The first time you meet him, you swear you've known him all your life. He's just got that kind of energy.
Let me tell you how I came across Lusire. St. Patrick's Day run we have here in Detroit. And this is before I was a member of Black Men Run. And I won't get explicit because I already told Lusire this story, but I look over and I see this, African-American leprechaun. What's going on here? And this guy, ever since then, has started, he was volunteering that day. He was the leprechaun for the race. So ever since that day, I started seeing Lusire every race I had signed up for. And his energy is unmatched. He's not only BMR, but he's in several run groups. I call him our race ambassador, running ambassador of Michigan. He's the guy, he's the governor. He's the governor of Michigan. So we call him Lou. As soon as he walks into any room, the room changes. We got a lot of alphas. I'm an alpha. Everybody on here is an alpha. When Lou comes in, that all changed. People loosen up. He's fun guy. So him and I used to have a podcast. Yeah, we used to have a podcast together called Running the Dream. He used to do the videos on Facebook and other social media. I said, Lou, now you should do a podcast. So after that, it just took off. And now he's our vice captain, and one of the great proponents of Black Men Run, period.
Hey, thanks, Darryell. I appreciate that, man. You trying to make me cry. I don't appreciate that, man.
You're ambassador, Lou.
Say we having church. Like touch.
I got something for you. Go on. I got something to write through the tears.
Come on. Let me get you. Get that eye right there.
Look at you, man. That's something in your eye.
This is how it is that each of our group runs, JT, and that's the blessing that this is. I mean, these guys are the core of Black Men Run Detroit. So, if anything, for the national meetup, I mean, the larger brotherhood gets to see how we naturally are.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And you know what they call us in Detroit? The Wolf
What they
Pack.
call Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack.
Oh. Okay.
Jeff Armstrong in session. Y'all talking stuff.
Okay.
Y'all talking stuff. The Wolf Pack is Legion.
I'm scared of y'all. I didn't know y'all'd be scared. That's all I could say.
Yeah, we've had groups come up to some of our runs, and the Wolf Pack start circling them. Ask Columbus. We just start circling. And it's like, oh, okay, we see what it is now. We're gonna be nice for them. We're gonna be nice for the national meetup, but
yeah, because we're gonna outnumber y'all. So
right, it's gonna be BMR versus Detroit. We have to wear out BMR Detroit versus everybody shirts that day.
I like that.
BMR Detroit versus BMR Nation. We wouldn't be able to win at all.
Oh, don't start that.
How are we looking time wise? What are we?
Time is a good thing. We good. Everybody got their word in. Anything else needs to be said at this episode?
I'm good.
All right. I want you all, a listening audience, I hope you all heard this good information. If you can be in Detroit that weekend of the 14th, I promise you will have a beautiful time here in the metro area of Detroit. I want you all to go as far as you can see. And when you get there, you can go a little further. And remember, God loves you, and Detroit BMR does too, and BMR does too. Talk to you guys later. To the next episode.
One, fellas.
Right, B.
Yes, sir.